Hey everyone, welcome back to Garner Reviews. Today is a very cool and unique video. I was so fortunate to win a giveaway from Spyder Products, and I just truly feel just immensely blessed and very thankful. So if you're not familiar with Spyder Products, I will drop a bunch of links to their products in the description below. You can find them at Lowe's as well as online, other sources and stuff like that. So like I said, I'll put their description down below. But they reached an awesome milestone on their Instagram page. They hit 40,000 followers, which is just phenomenal. I wish them the best of luck. And they were doing this awesome giveaway, and I was so fortunate I actually won. Kind of blew my mind. I don't think I've ever had anything quite like this happen. So again, I feel extremely blessed, super appreciative, and very excited to go through this with you guys. So I just wanted to kind of go through all the different things that I got from them in this giveaway, and just kind of talk it through with you guys and share a little bit about what, all the different products. I'm going to try and keep this video slightly condensed because I know I tend to ramble, but anyway, so jumping in, Spyder Products, I've used some of their power tool accessories, and I've just been honestly blown away. I've been using them for a few years now in different capacities. And again, value for the actual performance of the tool can be pretty superb. They often run really good sales on some of their stuff. So just a highly recommended brand. Again, I will drop links to them, but you can definitely find them at your local Lowe's, probably at other retailers as well. So let's start off. I got this awesome hat, actually two of these awesome hats, really sweet. Two of these awesome mock blue Spyder shirts, which mock blue you'll see in some of the products here in a second. And I got three, let me pull this out here, three of these awesome stools from them. And I don't know if I'll ever sit on them again because my children saw these and they thought that was so cool. They want to claim them for themselves. And you know what? I don't blame them. They are very cool stools. So this might be the only video I actually get to sit on one and do with you guys. But okay, we're going to jump in though and start talking through their stuff. Let's work on this big back stuff here because these are some really cool kits. Up on top here, I'll just go over these as well. These are some awesome recip blades. Check those out. Now, if you're not familiar with reciprocating saw blades, typically you just have a cutting edge on the bottom side here. This one actually has a cutting edge all the way around, which allows you to kind of use a reciprocating saw in a lot of different ways. They're calling these the Spyder 3x3s. This one is specific, like metal cutting. I think this one is as well. Yeah, metal and kind of thick wood. So it's kind of gives you a lot of versatility within these blades. I got a few different ones, kind of a few different sizes of those. I'll just set those aside. Getting into some of the bigger stuff here. This is a 13-piece hole saw kit. Now, I do have some experience with their hole saw kits. What makes these really incredible is they're calling it the rapid core eject. And basically it allows you to quickly get rid of like the wood puck or whatever it is that you've cut through really quickly. Now, normal hole saws, you got to get a screwdriver and you got to sit there and finagle it back and forth, or disassemble it or something like that. It can take a lot of time. And if you got to make repeated cuts, big time killer. So this allows you to basically press a button. You can pull back on the whole thing. It will basically expose the puck on the drill bit. You can just pull that right off, push it forward, and you're back and running. So an extremely cool technology. I have used these. The cutting edges on them are absolutely phenomenal. Actually, I'm going to take that back. I haven't used the bimetal, but I'm expecting them to work extremely well because so far I've never used a product from them that I've been disappointed in. So this is a bimetal one, so you get a lot of versatility there. Again, the rapid core technology, and that's a 13-piece set. So very cool. I'm just gonna set some of this stuff here to make some room because obviously I barely have room to fit this all on the bench here. This is another hole saw kit, but this one, it's a 14-piece, and this is carbide tipped. Now this is the one I actually do have a little bit of experience with. I've used their carbide tipped hole saws. Again, you get that awesome rapid core eject tech in there. Gives you two different drill shanks there, kind of for different tasks. I think one's kind of designed more around masonry, and then the other one would be like wood and steel and stuff like that. So awesome kit here. The carbide tipped, they work incredibly well, and like I said, I have no hesitation recommending Spyder products. These cut extremely nicely. And here at the end, this is another one I have no experience with, and I don't think I've actually even seen this in my local Lowe's. Now, it may be there, but I've certainly missed this. This is another carbide tipped one, but it's a little different in that it's a 9-piece, and they're calling this the Tarantula. And if you look at the body of the actual hole saws, you can kind of see there, it's got like a bunch of like cuts in it. So I'm assuming this is gonna like lower your friction, keep it cool, which means you're gonna get kind of like a longer life out of it. Again, this is also carbide tipped, and then the actual tooth structure is a lot different compared to the other ones. So this will be kind of fun. I'm gonna do a little bit of research and figure out kind of what the whole thought process is between the different styles and see where one has an advantage versus the other. But this looks like, again, great kit. It's got the rapid core eject tech and then carbide tips. So this thing will cut through just about everything. Very nice. That's a 9-piece, right? Yeah, 9-piece set there. Okay, let's jump in here. We got a little bit of extra swag too. These got a little bit bent, but I can recover those. So some cool stickers. And I had some more up here that I just didn't have room for. So awesome. That will be going on the toolbox somewhere, I'm sure. Here's a couple of those other recip blades. I'll show you those real quick. So you can kind of see those again. Those are the 3x3s. And you got a much larger tooth down there probably for wood, and then the top side would probably be more like a metal style. So really interesting. I've never used a style like that, and I'm excited to give those a try. I'm gonna set those up here so I don't drop them in a box and then cut my finger open. That would not be fun. A couple of awesome stingers. These are what they're calling stingers. It's like a spade bit with an auto feed tip there. I have used some of these and they are wonderful. Super nice. I actually ruined one. I was drilling through something and hit, it wasn't a nail, but it was something metal inside there, and I wasn't paying attention. I just kept trying, and it eventually got cut through it, but it definitely ruined it. These are not designed to go through steel. Some of them are. There are some spade bits out there that are designed for that, but this is definitely more like just wood only. So just be careful if you are running into something that has the potential to have a nail in it or something like that. I'm gonna keep going here, so I'll drop a bunch of stuff. So awesome. This is like a smaller hole saw kit. Again, you can kind of see now that rapid tech there. If you guys haven't seen that in person or haven't checked out a video, definitely pull that up. Maybe I'll do a video on some of that stuff later, but they work extremely well. This is a 6-piece bi-metal hole saw kit. I got an extra couple of, actually looks like maybe three different drill shanks here for the hole saws. These were all 3/8, and I think they make some that are 1/2 inch, if I remember correctly, or maybe I'll have to double check. But it's basically these 3 are 3/8. This is the tungsten carbide, so it's kind of like masonry, actually 2 masonry, and then like a wood steel style. So got all of those. Hole saw stuff is always incredible. It's one of those products where when you run into a situation where you need one, there's very few other things that usually get the job done correctly. Like having a lot of options there in both terms of what you can cut and then just the different style of teeth and all that kind of stuff. It is extremely important, different sizes. This is an awesome like little stack here they sent me. This is 5 inch and it goes all the way down to this little guy, which is a 1-incher. And these are all, looks like which ones are these? I think these are all bi-metal. Yeah, these are all the bi-metal ones. Extremely nice looking. I have not used the bi-metal, but I'm excited to give those a shot because that's just the tooth design looks phenomenal. I'm expecting these to cut really cleanly. So awesome stack here. Hole saw. That's a deep box. Whew. Show off a couple of these here. Actually, I've got a third one here. Let me move some stuff around. Like I said, I had no room on this table for all of this. This is kind of intense. So I've got 3 different like universal cutoff wheels. Now you could use these on a grinder. I think some of these too, like this one, may fit well on a like a wet saw. So if you're doing tile or something like that, I think a lot of them are around the 7-inch mark. So you'd have to check. But this is a Diamond Edge universal cutoff wheel. This is a 7-inch one, and then I ended up with also a 4.5 and an awesome 5-inch. Of course, these would fit right on your grinder, and you can cut all kinds of different things: masonry, tile, fiberglass, metal, rebar, anything like that. That should cut right through that. I don't have any experience with their cutoff wheels. I've been eyeballing them for a long time, but typically in the work and the projects I get into, I don't need them super frequently, so I just haven't pulled the trigger. But now I've got them, I'm excited to give those a shot. All right, let's get into some recip stuff. So reciprocating saws, you saw the awesome 3x3s that they sent out, but recip saws have like so many other awesome little uses, I guess. So these are 2 different like brushes that you can put right on your reciprocating saw. This is like I'm assuming this is like a nice nylon, some sort of plastic brush. It's pretty stiff though, so probably do an incredibly good job cleaning. This is a good like heavy duty steel one, so you can really just remove a lot of material with that, get something polished up nicely. Then continuing on the recip stuff here, I have never seen one of these. This is a corner sanding pad, which is awesome. So you got your pad here, it's got a Velcro side, and then it includes, it looks like a couple, 3 pieces of sandpaper. And on the back it says it fits mouse sandpaper, which is a brand, I'm assuming. I'm not familiar with it, but I'm sure it's probably super good stuff. So pretty cool looking little profile there though. So I would assume if you're getting into a situation where you had to sand with something like this, be on the floor, probably, something you could really kind of dig into and use the power of that recip saw to kind of just grind through almost. But pretty awesome little attachment. I think even like if you were doing like floors, pulling up old flooring and stuff like that, and you had to get into a corner and remove like some backing or something like that, that would probably work pretty well. So I'm going to put those in here. Continuing though on with the recip stuff here. I know this is a recip kit. These are awesome. So I do have some experience with, I believe it's these ones. I believe I got one of these kits a while ago. This is which one is this actually before I say 14 piece. So 14 piece bimetal, and they cut extremely well. Very, very clean, especially if you're using the right blade for the right situation. And with this kit, it comes on the back here, you get some included scrapers. Again, recip saws, they kind of have a bunch of different accessories now. This is a 2, 4, and 6-inch scraper, and it kind of looks like, tuning on here, this is another kit. It's going to look like these. So they just kind of sit on there. You can turn your recip saw sideways, sit there and scrape stuff. I have used these to like pull up old like vinyl flooring and stuff like that. Oh look, sticker was stuck in there. That's awesome, more swag. So pulling up like old vinyl and stuff like that. The backing always wants to stick, especially if it was glued on. So taking something like this, you can just sit there and carefully run that recip across there, and you can peel that up, sometimes really nice. So I have used, actually, I don't know if I've actually used the Spyder brand scrapers. I don't believe I have, but I've definitely used some of their recip blades, and they work incredibly well. So, and I love the case that these come with. I think they both do. Yeah. So you can see that case. It's a nice hard plastic case, but it does a really good job of just keeping them all in there. And then when you need one, sure, you got to kind of dump it out or kind of fish through there, but it's really not a big deal. It gets put away so quickly, and it keeps them, in one spot, so you're not cutting your fingers open, rifling through a toolbox or something like that. So 2 awesome, I guess they're both 14 piece recip saw blades there. Oh my goodness, this is like, again, Spyder, you guys are incredible. I really appreciate that. Let's just get these big guys. I don't know. Look at these monsters. This is impressive. I think I've needed something like this maybe once in my working adult life. So these are massive, and if you need one, again, there's nothing else that's going to do the job. So when you need one, you need one. But these are huge. These are huge. As a matter of fact, they have a 7/16 impact shank, which is just massive. It is massive. I don't even know if my drill, any of the drills I currently own, would even handle this. It's just a lot of bit there. So these are technically an auger bit. They've got that self-feeding tip on there, which is super nice. This one's 1/16", and the other is 7/8". So two awesome ones. I could see these being used like in a lot of like posts or timber frame construction, getting through big timbers like that to run legs or something through there. Definitely would be handy. Oh, I missed these. So here's another scraper set, which is just awesome. These are really nice, and the one thing I will say is they can work extremely well, but if you're not careful and you like start getting real aggressive with it, they can bend. So having some extras is always a good idea. This is 2, 4, and 6" again, but just make sure you're taking your time and like really paying attention to the tool, because I've done that a couple times where, you know, you're getting into a groove and then all of a sudden you kind of really run on the recip saw and you push down real hard and it will just bend one of these, and then it's kind of done. You can kind of try and bend them back, but it's never quite the same. So just be mindful of that, but they do work extremely well when you're doing it right. So some more of those. Let's get into some more bits here. Got another awesome auger. That's an 1.8". That's just a monster. That is such a big bit. This is again another 7/16", and they're saying this is an impact shank. So I honestly, I don't know what this fits into. Like, what drill is designed around that? I don't know. If you guys know, please let me know in the comment section, because this is new to me, a little bit new. This is huge. That is definitely probably built for timber framers. So another awesome set of they're calling these the power bits. I have used some of the smaller ones of these, I believe. I think it was these ones. Worked extremely well. You don't really have like the self-feeding tip where it's like a screw, but you got a nice little sharp point there. So when you first get started, it's not walking on you at all. You can kind of just get that really nice and centered, give it a good go, and it cuts really fast. Again, these ones, you're gonna want to be careful if you've got any sort of steel in there. It's not designed for that, and you can mess up that cutting edge pretty quick. But again, just be careful with that. They're definitely not designed with that in mind. And if you keep these nice and clean, that cutting edge, they do just punch out beautifully clean. It's really superb. That's a nice set. That's a 6-piece, basically from, where's the size, 1/2 inch up to 1.25". So Stinger power bit set. Excited about those. I will definitely be using a lot of those. All right, these more monsters, just monsters. I feel like because I have the bits now, I am obligated. I feel like it's obligation by law. I need to find a drill that will handle a monster like that. So I probably can't afford it right now. But again, 2 of these are the 7/16 speed hex shanks. This is a 1 inch and 3/4, and then the one next to it is actually a 1/2 inch auger with a 3/8 speed shank. So I mean, you know, I guess technically this will just go in your typical drill, but I really do feel like there's got to be something designed to handle these. Maybe not. Maybe your typical 1/2 inch drill will handle these just fine. I'm gonna get one out and give it a shot. Actually, I will do that. I'll make a video and we'll see if I can break my wrist. I'm sure, you know, the power of some of these tools nowadays. All right, let's keep moving. Let's finish up. I'll talk about saw blades kind of towards the end here. Oh, I got it down here. Okay, so we'll keep going with drill bit stuff. Here's an awesome spade bit set. I actually got this a couple of years ago, and I love this set. And I'm glad I got a new one, because I've accidentally, again, I was running these into some studs and stuff like that, and it was a remodel situation. I wasn't sure where all the nails or anything could be hidden, and I ran a bunch of these into nails and who knows what else, and it can ruin them pretty quick, especially if you're like me and you're like, oh, it's hard, and you just keep pushing. Yeah, no, don't do that. If you feel some resistance, stop, because otherwise these things will just rip right through wood. So if you pick up resistance, back off for a second, clean it out, and make sure you're not hitting a nail, because you can ruin these, and it's a sad, sad day. So super excited. I love the roll-up pouch. It rolls up really nice and tight, and then you can just throw it in with your drills. This is an awesome set. I mean, it goes from, I can't see it. What is the small size here? I'll look in the back. 1/4 inch all the way up to 1.1 1/8. Again, extremely well. They cut beautifully smooth. I really, really like these speed bits from Spyder. So super awesome, because I was a dork and ruined a bunch of those. Here's a nice little set. I've never seen this little set. Again, spade bit set. The stinger's a little bit smaller, but it's got an awesome little plastic case here. And that just opens up like that, kind of folds up. Actually, you can kind of, yeah, you can stand it right up just like that. That's pretty handy. And then this part will actually move too, and you can just get right to the bits, pull them out, and go. So this is 3/8 to 1.5 inches, so kind of some great sizes there. But I really like that case, actually. That's another nice thin profile, but it keeps them nice and clean. They're not going to get banged around and beat up. So great stuff there. Looks like a couple more. Got this bad boy. So actually this kind of goes with this set here. So this is the 10-piece Stinger drill bit set. So this is like your typical kind of like spiral bits. I have used a few of these, and they work extremely well. Now these, I think, are impact. Yes. So they have the 1/4 inch hex on there. So if you have to, you can throw them on an impact driver, and they're built to withstand that. So it's pretty impressive. I mean, that's a lot of torque on a drill bit, but they do hold up to that. I typically don't do that. I try to have a drill laying around, but again, that's just my personal preference. So they cut extremely smooth. I have not had any issues with these. This set goes from 1/16 up to 3/8, and then they threw in this awesome 1/2 inch one, which is kind of like the typical range you would get with a lot of drill bit sets. Is kind of that smaller 1/16 all the way up to 1/2 inch. This beautiful set. I like the case too. That looks like a nice little case, so that'll be fun to try out. Looks like a well-designed case. So awesome. These are the mock blue. So there's kind of the marketing now coming in. Mock blue armor plated. So, and I've seen that on something else. Yeah, we'll get to that in just a second. So there's the mock blue armor plated. So pretty cool. Actually really cool. Here's some brad points. I love brad points. Brad point drill bit set. This is a 6-piece, and it kind of goes from 1/8 up to 1/2 inch there. Great little set. Again, with the brad point on there, they call it a stinger. It basically makes sure that you're not going to have a bunch of walking when you're starting your drill. Does a great job. And based on what I'm looking at here, I mean, it looks like these are going to cut really clean. So I would expect them to, at least from Spyder. And these are just your typical shanks, so you're definitely going to have a drill for those. But super nice looking, especially if you need a brad point. Let's jump in. These two kits here, I am so excited. I saw these more recently, like maybe a few days ago, honestly, not too long ago. This is a really new release. Again, mock blue. It's got that armor coating on there. Tough Tip Tech. That's fun to say. Tough Tip Tech. All right. So those look just awesome, don't they? So this is a brand new market for them. They had not been making driver bits as far as I know. So they've got this awesome impact rated set here. This is a 30-piece, so you get a couple of socket pieces here. This is a 25-piece, and you get a little bit of a different kit there. So I'm super excited to give those a shot. They look really well designed. Everything looks like it's going to fit really well, but you know, I will definitely be testing these out and seeing how they do. And I like the actual bits that they're including. You know, you get some torque, some squares, you get a flat, and then of course like fill ups and stuff like that. So good range there, as well as on this one you get all the really good common stuff. So super stoked about those. Can't wait to get those out and give those a whirl. So all right, back into some cutting stuff here. Jigsaw. I love Jigsaw. two nice little sets there. I like how handy these are. These are 5 pieces. This is a multi-material one, so you kind of get wood, nails, thick, thin steel, non-ferrous metals, PVC, and then like a nice wood-shaped cutting one. These are all T-shank, so it's going to fit anything that's got a T-shank jigsaw. And then this is a metal cutting kit, and it's basically you can cut stainless, you can do shape cutting in actual steel, so really nice stuff there. I don't think I've actually used a metal one from them, but I have used one of their wood ones. Worked extremely well. So 2 awesome little jigsaw sets there. And again, jigsaws are just one of those tools when you need it. There's nothing else really that does the trick. So having some good quality blades is always a must. Now transitioning to blades, I think this is my first exposure to Spyder. I had been seeing them a couple years ago. I had heard some good things, so a few years ago I decided I'm going to try a like a circular saw, you know, skill saw blade, and a miter saw. So I actually picked up, let's see, not that one. I think this was one of the first ones I actually tried, and this is the Spyder. I believe it's the Tarantula. Yeah, the Tarantula, and it's a carbide tipped. This is a 7 1/4. This one is actually the 60 tooth, so this is an ultra fine finish. I didn't try that one. It was actually the Tarantula 24 tooth. That's what it was. So it was a single blade. This is an awesome pack. This is so cool. So 7 1/4 24 tooth is like your general kind of purpose framing construction style. But again, these are carbide tipped, and they worked extremely well. Very, very clean cuts, even though you've got just, you know, it's 24 tooth, so you're not getting that super fine finish. It was still extremely, extremely fine. Far more than I've experienced in the past. And it lasted an extremely long time. As a matter of fact, I think I ended up changing out the blade just because, and I put on a new blade, and I wasn't real sure that I actually needed to change it after making a couple cuts. I was like, that's not much different than the old blade. So they last an incredibly long time. They seem to cut through everything just beautifully smooth. This is a 10-pack. Based on my previous experience with them, this might last me, I mean, years. It probably will last me years. They really do last a long time. Obviously, if you're using one every single day, that's a little different. I do mostly remodel stuff, so but incredibly great, smooth cutting. This is a carbide tipped one from them, 7 1/4. This is a 60 tooth, so ultra fine finish there. That's going to be super nice. And then another 7 1/4, but this is for laminate, which is really cool. So I don't typically run into too many like melamine or anything like that, but obviously having the correct blade for that will help a lot. And I think a lot of it has to do with like the different adhesives that kind of bind those materials together, and being able to cut through that without burning and getting like that big gummy mess. So plus they also chip out a little bit differently, so you need kind of a different tooth design to handle that. So and you can kind of see it actually. I'll hold these up. These are both 60 tooth, but I don't know if you'll catch it on camera, but you can kind of see the difference there in the tooth structure. So pretty cool. Now getting into some of the bigger boy stuff here. This is a 10-inch, or no, excuse me, this is a 12-inch 80 tooth. I have used this on my miter saw, and it is incredible. Now this is again 80 tooth, so this is technically a fine finish. I threw one on just to give it a shot, even when doing some framing and stuff like that. And I don't know that I would necessarily say I would jump down to less teeth to speed up the cuts, because it cuts really fast and the end product is so smooth that honestly I don't know if I would want to save that much time. I mean, it's incredible. They cut very nice. Again, these are the Tarantulas, so they do have those carbide tipped. Here's another one, 12-inch, but this is the 60 tooth. So I have not used the 60 tooth on my miter saw, but I'm definitely game to give it a try. I think honestly, for me, I would assume that this is going to cut a little bit faster, but technically it's not going to be as smooth. So, you know, I guess if you're doing technically a bunch of just framing and that's it, you can probably get away with the 60 tooth. I mean, it may work a little bit better, but for the variety that I do, I really liked that 80 tooth. It worked extremely well. And again, super long lasting. I think I'm still using the original one, and I have no desire to change it at this point because it is still cutting very smooth and I'm having no issues with it. And last but certainly not least, this is a 10-inch 60 tooth. So again, carbide tipped, just like the 12-inch, but obviously it's 10. I don't have a 10-inch miter saw right now, but I was actually looking into that because getting into the projects that I have been, I don't know if I've ever really needed a big 12-inch saw. It's bigger, it's heavier. Obviously the range of cutting is greater, but I think I would probably be able to do everything I've ever needed on a 10-inch saw. So you're getting a little bit smaller saw that's a little bit lighter, plus 10-inch versus 12-inch, there's less deflection in the blade. So it will naturally tend to have more precise cuts. And then even stepping down like smaller, you can get into 8-inch or 7¼ inch saws and stuff like that. And every time you kind of move down in size, you're getting less blade deflection technically. So you can kind of end up with smoother cuts, especially when it's concerned with like trim work and stuff like that. So 10-inch may be something I'm going to move into soon. I've definitely been considering that. So this will be, if I move in that direction, this will be the first thing I throw on there to give it a shot. So that was a lot of stuff. And again, I want to say thank you to Spyder. I will throw in links to their Instagram, YouTube, their website, as well as a link to Lowe's where you can see some of their products. So I hope you guys enjoyed that. I'm very fortunate. I want to say thank you to Spyder Products. Such an awesome giveaway. I hope you guys continue to grow on social media, and obviously as a company, you guys are kind of spreading out there, getting into some different stuff. I'm super excited, and I will highly recommend your products to everyone. Not because I won this, but seriously because they do an incredibly good job with all their products. So hope you guys enjoyed that. If you have any questions about any of this stuff, please let me know in the comment section down below. I love talking with you guys down there, answering questions whenever I can, and learning from you guys. I get some great tips and just some great comments in general. So I really appreciate that from you guys. And yeah, I think that's everything. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Have a good rest of your weekend.